நிலா காய்கிறது நேரம் தேய்கிறது யாரும் ரசிக்கவில்லையே. சின்ன வயசுலேருந்தே I had made a decision that I'm going to really dedicate my life to music and that I'm going to make a mark. என்னை எங்க நீ கூட்டி போற, like it's like one long thing. Sometimes it clicks right away. Like Maruvarte was just immediately that day something was going on through my head. I don't remember what it was, but immediately I just got in the studio. It's like magic. It just happened. But then other times it doesn't. Like this Inkem Kavale song, the Telugu. I think dream come true that's already happened is working with AR sir, getting to interact with him, talk to him. He gives me advice when I need it. Just having him as a guru is... என்னை நான் யாரென்று சொன்னாலும் புரியாதே, என் காதல் நீ என்று யாருக்கும் தெரியாதே.
ஹலோ,
ஹாய்,
எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
நல்லா இருக்கு.
ரொம்ப பிஸியான ஒரு சிங்கர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். கையிலேயே பிடிக்க முடியலையே ஒரு இன்டர்வியூக்குன்னு ரொம்ப நாளா நாங்க கேட்டுட்டு இருந்தோம். Thank you for coming.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, first questionே வந்து கர்நாடிக் டு சினிமேட்டிக் அந்த process எப்படி நடந்துது சார்?
ஸோ நான் ஒரு 3 வயசுலயே நான் கர்நாடிக் மியூசிக் கற்றுக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேன். I started learning from my mother. So 1990 I was born here in Chennai. 91 family we moved to the US, to California. So 92 amma Fremont she started her Carnatic music school. So Carnatic music was always everywhere around me. 93 I started learning from her, and Carnatic music has been like my foundation and fountainhead since then. It's been the form of music that has, the only thing I formally learned is that, and I really spent a lot of time with it from then to now. So I think Carnatic music and the training that I've had with it kind of allowed me to explore all the other genres. It gave me a really, really strong just grounding in music, and it gave me something that allows me to approach everything else. So in 2012 when AR sir called for RDA, actually December 2011 na Chennai in the Margari season vandhu. So apporcha studio la irundha oru call vandhathu that just the sir wants to meet you. So I went to meet him, and he asked me to sing one Carnatic song, and then he also, by that time I was writing a lot of my own music and composing R&B on the style. So one of those links I had sent him. So when I went to meet him, he asked me to sing one Carnatic song and one of my original compositions. So basically I think my on one hand I had the Carnatic grounding, on the other hand because I grew up in the US I explored a bunch of different genres growing up, and I went to college for music at Berkeley, and I started exploring many different genres. So when I got called for my first song, both of these kind of explorations and evolutions allowed me to really dig into the song and give sir what he wants. So from 2012 to 2016, even though I was singing appo, I think I had sung 3 songs. Adiye, Ennodu Nee Irundhal, Yanai Mattum Kadale. இந்த 3 பாட்டு தான் வந்தது அப்போ. So then I would still only come for December season, and then summer sometimes I'd also come. But 2016 Thalli Pogade came out. So once that song came out, everything kind of blew up. So appo, right after Thalli Pogade came out, I found myself having to travel to Chennai every month. Something was happening. So it didn't seem like it was smart just to go back and forth. So appo now I spend, from 2016 to now, I spent 6 months in here in Chennai, 6 months in the US.
So அந்த ஹிட் மேல ஹிட் நீங்க என்ன பாட்டு பாடினாலும் அது ஹிட் ஆகுது, அது ஒரு மேஜிக், ஒரு சீக்ரெட் என்னன்னு எங்களுக்கு சொல்றீங்க?
எனக்கே தெரியல. I'm not sure. I think God. What I do is when I get called to do a song, whoever it's for, I make sure that I just 2 things. I really respect and give the music director the space that they need to guide me, because at the end of the day it's their composition and their creation, and then I also just surrender to the moment. I think that's the most important thing. If you take a song like Maruvarte, for example, I remember going into the studio that day, and I don't remember what headspace I was in, but the minute I got into the studio and Darbuka Shiva kind of started showing me the melody, and then Tamare ma'am was also there, Gautam and sir was also there, I just kind of like you have to be completely void of any ego at that point. I took myself out of it and just
டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஸ்ட்ரீம்ஸ் ஆஃப் மியூசிக் வந்து நீங்க வந்து பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கீங்க. ஸோ அது எப்படி அந்த டைம் கிடைக்குது உங்களுக்கு இதுவும் பண்ணி அதுவும் பண்றதுக்கு? எந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு அலாட்மெண்ட் நீங்க ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறீங்க?
I think எனக்கு என்ன ரொம்ப important என்னன்னா routine. I try to make sure that wherever I am, whether I'm here in Chennai, whether I'm in the US or traveling for shows, touring, I try to maintain one set routine. Kartala, when I wake up, I make sure I sing for about 45 minutes in the Carnatic exercise akaram. So I practice in the morning. Then I do whatever else work if I'm writing music or composing. Then sometime in the day, either in the morning or afternoon, I'll practice for another about an hour and a half. Proper just like singing a kacheri or something like that. And then recording vandana, then wherever I am, I make sure I make time for that. And basically my full day is just filled with music. So I don't have time for really anything else. So it's I wouldn't even say it's difficult. It's dream come true. This is what I always wanted to do. So between Carnatic music, recordings for films, preparing for shows, and then I also write my own music. I'm releasing my album actually next week on February 6th. This is mostly English compositions, but between all that and then writing my own music and recording that, it takes up almost all my time.
Okay. So Carnatic background வந்து உங்களுக்கு சினிமா இந்த நம்ம கோலிவுட்லயும் சரி நீங்க நிறைய லாங்குவேஜ்ல பாடுறீங்க. அது எப்படி ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு அப்படி நீங்க நினைக்கிறீங்க?
In a few different ways. Most fundamentally, I think Carnatic music and throwing your voice, full-throated singing, very important. It's probably the most important kind of like Ennodu Amma, the biggest thing that she taught me from a young age is to use my full voice, sing with my full voice and really project my voice, use my whole, all the power that I have in my voice to use it. So because of that, I've gotten used to singing in that way. Also beyond that, I think practicing as much as I do, it's a very rigorous form of music. Nariya Gamakamla, all those different things are there. So physically it's pretty rigorous. So that has given me a lot of stamina. So when I'm recording a film song or I'm doing a show with like the one we're doing on the 9th, I have the stamina to be able to move around a lot and sing and still stay in pitch and make sure it sounds good. So that has given me that. Then also Carnatic music is a very complex form. Both melodically, rhythmically, there's a lot to think about while you're preparing and to dig in. There's a lot of layers in it. So I think the fact that I've kind of really dug in with the form and understood it and internalized it, it gives me a framework to approach anything. So recording if I listen to a melody when the music director gives me the melody and they said this is what you have to sing, I can pick it up pretty quickly because of the time I've spent with Carnatic music. So I have that vocabulary to be able to grasp it fast.
ஓகே உங்களுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சாங் பிரேக் கொடுக்கும்போது உங்களுக்கு அதை ரியலைஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு ட்ரீம் கம் ட்ரூ மூமெண்ட்டாக தான் இருக்கும் கண்டிப்பாக அது ஏஆர் ரஹ்மான் சார் கூட ஒர்க் பண்ணது. ஸோ வீட்டில் எப்படி அதை ஃபீல் பண்ணாங்க? வீட்டில் என்னென்னலாம் சொன்னாங்க அதுக்கப்புறம்?
ஸோ என்னோட ஃபேமிலியில் they're very engaged and kind of important part of my career. ஸோ என்னோட அம்மா தான் குரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் my dad is the one that mainly manages me. அப்போ he wasn't as much. Now as he's gone more busy, he does. And then my sister, I have an older sister. She's a Bharatanatyam dancer and also a professor. So we perform a lot together, collaborate. So I think Chinna Islande, I had made a decision that I'm going to really dedicate my life to music and that I'm going to make a mark. I wanted to do something that was impactful on a large scale. I felt this way since I was really young, and I think I felt that way because my parents really instilled that belief in me. They were always strict. They'd make sure I practiced a lot. They would, so, but they also instilled in me a sense of pride in what I had the ability to do. So when this happened, they were just really happy. But I think more than anything else, how they viewed it and then how I viewed it because of my conversations with them was that this is just the first step. That this is really good. But now, finally, I've gotten this break to turn this into something much larger. So that's what they felt. So from that point on, it was just a lot more just working more and practicing more and just figuring out what's next. So yeah.
Okay. Top 5 songs. இதை கேட்காம என்னால் இருக்கவே முடியாது அப்படின்ற ஒரு 5 songs குட்டியா நீங்க எங்களுக்கு பாடி காமிக்கணும்.
Okay, it can be any language?
Any language.
Okay. நிலா காய்கிறது நேரம் தேய்கிறது யாரும் ரசிக்கவில்லையே இந்த கண்கள் மட்டும் உன்னை காணும் நான் ஏன் பிறந்தேன் கண் ஏன் திறந்தேன் எனக்கே தெரியாதே Don't leave me high. 2 jumps in a week, I bet you think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? Riding on your motorcycle, watching all the ground beneath you drop. This is High and Dry by Radiohead. Rangapura Vihara Shrirangapura Vihara Jaya Kodanda Ramavatara Raghuvira Shri Rangapura Vihara கண்ணே கலைமானே கன்னிமயிலன கண்டேன் உன்னை நானே.
ஃபைன். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு இந்த இந்த சிங்கர் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும், என்ன நான் பாடுறதை தவிர இந்த சிங்கர் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும்னா இந்த சிங்கர் சொல்லுவீங்க?
ஹரிஹரன் சார்.
ஹரிஹரன்
He's one of my all-time favorites.
ஓகே. ஸோ இதோட இந்த இன்டர்வியூ முடியுது. ரொம்ப 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 தேங்க்ஸ் எங்களுக்கு இந்த இன்டர்வியூ கொடுத்தது.
Thank you so much.
ஸோ 2019 எப்படி இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு நீங்க நினைக்கிறீங்க? எந்த மாதிரி ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன் இருக்கு?
It's already started off really great. I'm excited for Feb 9th. The show is going to be epic. We're going to really rock. I'm excited for that. And it's my first time doing like a big show here in Chennai. So I'm excited. And I'm just excited to keep doing more music and just keep it going. It's just the power of music, and I've gotten really blessed with some great songs. I anytime AR sir calls me, I'm there for the recording. But besides that, I make sure to pick the songs that I think I can really do justice to. You know, I think I have certain strengths and certain. I also know my weaknesses, so I know which songs I think I can really kind of dig into and pour my heart into.
ஸோ இன்னொரு கொஸ்டின் வந்து நீங்கள் 90s பார்ன் எல்லாரும் நிறைய பேர் 90s கிட்ஸ் அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா ரஹ்மான் சாரோட அந்த ஒரு பீரியட். ஸோ எல்லாருமே அந்த பாட்டெல்லாம் கேட்டுட்டு தான் வளர்ந்துருப்போம். பட் உங்களுக்கு நீங்கள் இளையராஜா சார் ஒரு இன்டர்வியூவில் பார்த்தேன், அவ்வளோ அழகா நீங்கள் வந்து ரசிச்சு ஒரு ஃபேனாக நீங்கள் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் கன்வே பண்ணியிருப்பீங்க. ஸோ எப்படி அந்த டச் எப்படி வந்தது உங்களுக்கு?
ஸோ Amma Appala, they're big fans of Raja sir. So Chinna Isla, his music would also be playing. So subconscious, I'd listen to that music, but not Tanave, because that music wasn't coming out as I was growing up. So AR sir's music was releasing as I was growing up. So that's the music that I connected with immediately as a child. Once I got a little bit older, I think also I've talked about it, but this that song specifically, we were watching that film, and when we were watching that film, that song stuck. I was, I think, in 9th or 10th grade when we watched it. My parents rented the movie and we were watching it at home. So I was wondering, who composed this song? And then I left it then. I didn't think about it. Then again, maybe in 2013, after I'd entered the field, I started in interviews, people would ask me to sing some of Raja sir's songs stuff, and I didn't really know which songs to sing. I didn't have that, so I really started digging into his music more at that time. Once I started digging into it more, then it like I just fell in love with everything that he did. And I think there's a time for everything. I think especially when there's a musician who has been or a composer who's been releasing so much music before you were even born. There's a time when, for me, there was a specific time when I was ready to really get into his music. So once I got into it, I just fell completely in love.
Okay. So Sid Sriram எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். அந்த சித்தோட full form என்ன நாங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம்? Siddharth Sriram.
So when I was born, that's what my parents named me. So US la bocha, once I started going to school, my teachers, all the other students would completely mess up the pronunciation. So abdiye, I think 2nd grade la I shortened it to Sid. Just to make it easier for her, and then that stuck. And then since then, even now Siddhartha. But outside, and then even when I entered the industry, I decided to keep Sid Sriram. A lot of people were saying, why don't you keep your full name? No one will know what Sid is. Like, it's weird. And I said, no, it's okay. Let's just keep that. And then it stuck.
Okay. ஸோ நிறைய லாங்குவேஜஸ்ல பாடுறீங்க, நிறைய லாங்குவேஜ் உங்களுக்கு புதுசா இருக்கும் கத்துக்கிறதுக்கு. ஆனா அந்த இமோஷன் மட்டும் டக்குன்னு கிளிக் பண்ணி எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பரிச்சயமான ஒரு சிங்கர் அந்த ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் அந்த ஃபுல்லா புரிஞ்சு பாடுற மாதிரி எங்களுக்கு அந்த ஒரு ஃபீல் வருது. அது எப்படி அந்த மேஜிக்?
I think the emotion, well, one thing I try to do is whatever the language is, whether Tamil எனக்கு புரியும், so that's not as much of a problem, but even that certain words are not words that you use colloquially, so I'll what I do with any of the lyricists is ask them to explain the meaning of the song to me. I like to, and Carnatic music, so those Carnatic songs are whether in Telugu, Sanskrit, Tamil, they're older in form of the language, so I'll always kind of sit with my mom and look at the different meanings. So because I had that practice in Carnatic music, once I entered the film line, I would ask the lyricist to explain it so I could understand what each line is, what the overall meaning of the song, and then also what the context of the song in the film is, to know what the scene is and what the kind of emotional tug is. And then I feel like with the great composers, whoever the emotion of the song will also come through in just the melody. Simply when you hear it, you'll feel a certain way. So I try to make sure that I really lock into that as well as the meaning of the lyric. And once I lock in subconsciously with the melody and feel like it's really a part of me, then I can give everything to it. And it's not easy. Sometimes it clicks right away. Like Maruvarte, it was just immediately that day something was going on through my head. I don't remember what it was, but immediately I just got in the studio. It's like magic. It just happened. But then other times it doesn't. Like this Inkem Kavale song, the Telugu, it took me a while to really one, get the pronunciation right. Two, see, and what I've realized is how well you pronounce the lyrics directly impacts how the emotion connects as well. Like if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong on some level, so that affects how much I'm able to just completely let go and be free while I'm singing. So that song took me some time to really get it. So it's, but I know, I'll always know inside, like my gut, there's one spark of a feeling that comes when I know that I've connected with it and when I'm recording it and I've sung something that really resonates. And if it resonates with me, then my belief normally is that it'll resonate with at least some other people.
Okay. Inkem Kavali சொல்லும்போது தான் இன்னொரு விஷயம், அவ்வளோ ஒரு தெலுங்கு தாண்டி தமிழ்லயும் அவ்வளோ ஒரு ஃபேவரட் இருந்தாங்க இன்கேம் காவலி சாங். நான் லாங்குவேஜ் தெரியாமலே பாடிட்டு இருந்தாங்க நிறைய பேர். ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறமா நீங்க விஜய் தேவரகொண்டாக்கு மறுபடியும் இன்னொரு பாட்டும் பாடிருக்கீங்க. ஸோ அதுவும் ஹிட் ஆச்சு. ஸோ விஜய் தேவரகொண்டா என்ன சொன்னாங்க நீங்க?
So apparently he was the one that really pushed for me to sing Inkem Kavali. So நான் அந்த ஆடியோ லான்ச்க்கு ஹைதராபாத்க்கு போயிருந்தேன். So அங்க போச்ச the producer of the film was speaking. அவர் mostly தெலுங்குல தான் பேசினார், ஒண்ணுமே புரியல எனக்கு. But அதுக்கப்புறம் he looked at me while he was on stage and gave me English translation at the same time. So apparently they wanted someone else to sing the song, or they'd had someone else sing it, and it was, I think, a little sweeter. But Vijay Devarakonda was the one that said, no, you should go with Sid for this song because he can bring a different perspective to it. So when he said that, me and Vijay, he was also sitting like a couple of seats away, we just looked at each other real quick, and he's actually been a really good friend from that point. He's been a great supporter. Even my independent music, he'll post about it on Twitter. And I think I watched one of his interviews before, and he's a really smart, intelligent guy, and it's great to see how well he's doing. And it's really cool to see how both Inkem Kavale, there's one more song from the same movie, and then there's a song from a film called Taxiwala that came out. So all three of those songs have been big hits. So yeah, I hope to do more work with them.
Okay. So நீங்க பாடின பாட்டுலயே எந்த ஒரு லைன், எந்த ஒரு விஷயம் வந்து உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும் எந்த ஒரு சாங்ல? ரொம்ப பாடும்போதே உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப இப்போ வரைக்கும் ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா இருக்க ஒரு மெமரி?
Ennodu Nee Irundhal. That whole recording was special for me. Ennodu Nee Irundhal da first time na AR Savarada I was recording in person direct. Adiye na Boston la irundhen, sir Mumbai la irundhar, so Skype recording. But Ennodu Nee Irundhal was the first time I got to record with him directly, and I was in the studio in Chennai. Shankar sir was there and Kabilan sir was also there. But that one, the whole recording was just beautiful. It was such a exciting experience for me. I think this one, என்னை நான் யாரென்று சொன்னாலும் புரியாதே, this specific part, என் காதல் நீ என்று யாருக்கும் தெரியாதே, that like glide down, I think it was something else before. Sir had kept it as a little bit different. And then I was thinking, he said, "Why don't you try something that's R&B over there?" And that's the genius of AR Sir. Like to think of just a small bit of a song and say, "Try a different style just for that bit." Um, and so he guided me and I sang it and it felt magical.
ஒரு ட்ரீம் கம் ட்ரூ மூமெண்ட்னா நீங்க எந்த விஷயத்தை சொல்வீங்க?
Already happened or something that I want to happen?
ரெண்டுமே சொல்லலாம்.
I think dream come true that's already happened is working with AR Sir, getting to interact with him, talk to him. He gives me advice when I need it. Just having him as a guru is it's godsend really, and I think that's one. I'll give you three, and then the second I think. So Carnatic music la, when I first started singing, so Carnatic music I've been doing before anything else. So the Nardgan Sabha is one Sabha in Maila or Alwarpet area. So for maybe like 8-9 years ago, maybe even more than that, in the mini hall season la or 12 o'clock kacheri afternoon. Yarume varamata adukla. So I was singing that, and there was like maybe like 5-6 people in the audience. Adla one man was sitting there for the AC reading the paper, then he went to sleep.
Oh.
So from then 2 days ago I sang a kacheri in Nanganallur.
Yes.
And at that concert, I think the venue seats maybe like 350 people, but I think there was like around like 800-900 people just packed into the space. And the energy was just beautiful. It was so. I was accompanied that day by Jay Vaidyanathan on Mezangam, H.N. Bhaskar on violin, and Gattam Karthik on Gattam. These are all musicians I've looked up to for a long time. So that specific concert, and I mean, there's been many such concerts in the recent times, but this is the most recent. So to see where I was then when I was performing in that mini hall with no one and one man snoring in the corner, and then now having this for Carnatic music is really special. I think Carnatic music in a way raised me. You know, it's something that's very dear to me, and I really believe in the power of that form and how accessible it is. A lot of people think it's only for certain audiences or people will get bored of it, but what I've been seeing through my own experience is that, like at that concert 2 days ago, like there was about maybe like 200-300 like youth that were there, and they were loving Carnatic music. So that's a dream come true. The fact that I've become an ambassador for this classical music form, and that I'm able to show that it is a really cool form of music, that's a dream come true. Then a dream come true that I want to happen is I would love to work with Raja sir, so I'm praying for that.
ஓகே ஸோ மியூசிக்கை வந்து இப்போ கட்டகாலத்தில் இப்போ இந்த ஜென்ரேஷனில் ஈஸியாக ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்களோ அப்படின்னு என்னைக்கா தோணியிருக்கா? ஈஸியாக ஒரு கம்போசிஷன் ஆகட்டும் இருக்கட்டும் ஈஸியாக பண்ணுறாங்களே.
ஸோ இப்போ என்னன்னா, because the internet is so big and it's become so prevalent in our lives, what I think is done is kind of democratized music. And what I mean by that is anyone with a laptop can create. And anyone they can create, record, and then upload it to YouTube, and it could become viral, or it could just see 100 views. It could go either way. I think I'm in a point in my life now where I'm not really looking at things as positive or negative, just taking them for what they are. So this is, there's some really great things that come from this. Someone that wouldn't have gotten the opportunity. Yanake, AR sir என்னை எப்படி discover பண்ணாங்கன்னா, he saw. So upon I think 2009-2010 I was releasing original music on YouTube, covers and then my original compositions. So I sent him some of my original compositions on YouTube. Adu paatha he found me.
Oh.
So if the internet wasn't as big as, and now it's even more prevalent, but if it didn't exist, then it wouldn't have happened. So in the same way, I think the fact that there's no more, the barriers to be able to release music, to be a musician, are much less now than they were. So then more people are able to participate, to release their music, to just be artists in a way. So with that, you also get a percentage of really bad work. But then who's to say it's what one man's trash is another man's treasure? So there's any perspective that you want is available now, and there's such a diverse kind of collection of music that's online now, and I think some people take the easy route and make music too fast, But with that, you also have people like recently I sang an independent song for B Prasanna. It's called Kandil Marai, and it went on YouTube, and it's not through films or anything, just an independent song. And he reached me again through the internet. He sent me an email. We connected, and then it's a brilliant song. And the fact that someone like him can put that song up online now, it's I think 3-4 million views. So as much as you get some music that might just be too rushed or not like real, it's too easy, then you also get masterpieces. So everything balances out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So live sounding பத்தி உங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க. Live recording, live sounding பத்தி ஏதாவது.
Oh, like live instruments. I think it's really important. My favorite music is a combination of both electronic, digital stuff, and live music. I love, and I think, well, I think it's important for people to play instruments. I think it's important for that to always continue. And they could be playing a synthesizer or they can be playing a violin. But I think it's important because that's what is going to keep the human element of music alive, which is, to me, the most important. You want to connect on a very, primal kind of human level to what you're listening to. So when someone actually plays a part or, puts down a drum groove or something like that, you can feel the life in it. So I think it's important for live instrumentation to always stay alive. I also think that it's really cool that there's been so many advances in technology that allow us to explore different sonic textures and different sounds that have never existed before. So I think, so my idol AR sir, I think he really, how he's been able to marry the two worlds together is amazing. Some of my favorite songs of his, like Pudu Lemare, they're like the opening synth, boom, 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 boom. It's like a synth line, right? But then there's like string parts that come in and all that other stuff. I think being able to really bring them together as one, it's almost like you're taking different worlds and you're allowing them to be juxtaposed against each other or live with each other. And I think it's beautiful. I think he's really kind of set a blueprint for us in the younger generation, for sure. Or just giving us ideas of how we can try different things. Hi everyone, this is Sid Sriram. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Suryan FM YouTube channel.